Actually, hey, Dave, before I brush my teeth, do you have any candy, man? Dave, do you have any candy, man? Dave, do you have any candy? Man, Dave, do you have any candy? Candy, man, do you have it? Hey, man, do you have candy, man? Candy, man, do you have it? Ah! Oh, dang it. You know, as I was saying it, I was like, I bet this is gonna be a problem. I hope this doesn't awaken anything. That's on me.
Be my victim.
No. Thank you.
Okay, fine. Just watch and explain all the Candyman movies or I'll gut you groin to gullet.
All right, fine. Do you have any candy?
I mean, yeah, but it's full of razor blades.
Well, then I don't want it.
Oh, Trevor.
Yeah, who are you expecting?
Wait, Candy Man? Like the Willy Wonka guy? Oh, crap. I guess I need to watch all those stupid movies first if I'm gonna understand this one. Like, how the shit does one sprinkle dew on a sunrise and then cover the whole damn thing in chocolate and also 1 to 2 miracles?
They will say,
The Candyman can.
Oh, wait, Dave's holding up a sign that says, oh, I cannot say that. I'm not gonna say that. Ha! That's racist even for you. Dick, another dick, boobs, dick. Okay, this one I can say in front of camera. He shouldn't be called Candyman. It'd make more sense to call him B-Boy or Hook 'em Harry. Well, I'm excited to learn whatever the hell that means, and I'm even more excited that I don't have to watch a bunch of old freeloading people wallow in a massive free love bed that's more bodily fluids than mattress. The Chocolate Factory? That's the bed, because they shit in it. Charlie Bucket? It's talking about his mouth.
Charlie, that's
That's good, Charlie.
I have
So instead, ooh, cars that look like candy. Yeah, no, they look like bees, actually. Damn. Oh, and credit titles fly around like candy. No, it's still bees, kinda. Oh, shit, this is a Clive Barker thing? I already did all the Hellraisers, man. I don't want to learn about a dude who shoves bees up his butt to feel alive.
Your suffering will be legendary.
Oh my God, there's actual bees. There better not be any butts or I'm gonna freak out.
what's blood for, if not for shedding?
I mean, I think it carries oxygen around the body. I don't think shedding has anything to do with it.
That was a blood fact with Dr. Jordan.
I'll split you from your groin to your...
Okay, now this is just starting to feel like you're pitching Arby's slogans. But also, I don't believe you. I'd rather hear somebody talk about
The scariest story I've ever heard, and it's totally true.
ugh, nothing scarier than the truth other than bees and butts. But that's just an urban legend I made up 45 seconds ago that became a true story 30 seconds ago when Dave pulled some bees out of his backpack. No, Dave, I don't want to know why you call it Winnie the Poohing. I assume it has something to do with honey and your butt and poop and not wearing pants. Wow, that's really, honestly, actually, I like it. It really covers a lot of bases.
oh bother, the police are after me again.
Oh, bother. I've got bees in my butt. Anyway, this urban legend is about a girl, which, okay, already I don't buy it. Girls were invented by the FBI to trick us into saying embarrassing things on the internet. But anyway, pretending they're real, this girl was babysitting and wanted to hook up, no pun intended, with not her boyfriend, but rather some bad boy, because babysitters always be hooking up, no pun intended, with bad boys.
Because he was like a bad boy.
And to really get things going, the girl asks,
Have you ever heard of Candyman?
and proceeds to explain how if you say Mr. Man's name 5 times in the mirror, he'll appear behind you, which isn't like the sexiest foreplay game I've ever heard of, but it's at least unique. Way to think outside the box, pun fully intended.
You want to try?
Sure, but I'd rather have sex.
Dick in hand, what?
Can we try that later?
Yeah, interesting, but I'm sort of here for something else.
My mind's somewhere else right now.
Yeah. But wait, the confusing foreplay isn't over yet because the girl unhooks her bra, no pun intended, and says,
Go downstairs. I have a surprise for you.
Bees?
lady, unless you've secretly transformed the entire ground floor into a strip club containing exponentially more boobs than what we've already got right here, no bad boy on earth wants to get distracted at this point. Like, what's your game? Do you want to play strip Scrabble to uncover your butt? What if bees fly up in your butt.
I don't know why.
We got everything we need. I don't know what's downstairs. How is it better than you topless right here, right now? I've been ready for 10 minutes. You're talking about ghost men and things that are not in this room. And it's like, let's just have the sex.
His right hand is sawn off. He has a hook jammed in the bloody stump.
Stop. My penis can only get so erect.
Well, we never actually learned what her sexy downstairs plan was because she says cockblock man's name for the 5th and final time, and boy, this is me talking. I got jump scared all to shit. I knew it was coming. It still got me. Like, well played, B-boy. I was like, well, obviously he's about to show up. Damn it. Got me. I'm watching on my little computer.
Your bowl of candy flies everywhere.
I never get scared of these, ever. You know, because they're dumb and like, I'm watching with like relatively low volume and it got the shit out of me. I was like, ah!
What he saw turned his hair white from shock.
Anyway, cut to real life and a different girl is being interviewed by a lady named Helen and telling her this story. She wraps up by saying, oh, and also the baby got killed, which doesn't really seem fair considering babies can't say any words, let alone 5 times. It's not like he's the goo goo gaga man. That would be unfortunate because babies would be saying that all the time. Oh, also the bad boy escaped, but he lost his mind, presumably because he never got to see the babysitter's surprise, maybe bee-filled butt.
My roommate's boyfriend knows him.
See, Helen and her friend Bernadette here are graduate students working on a thesis about urban legends. They think they exist, but I'm skeptical. But to prove their theory, they're interviewing a bunch of freshmen about whether they've heard any cool-ass urban legends recently so that they can pad out their paper and some plot exposition. This is why my graduation thesis was full of restaurant recommendations from everyone on my dorm floor, plus advertisements from local businesses.
I mean, you gotta hook them.
Speaking of, Helen walks from wherever she was to a cool-ass college class helmed by a cool-ass professor who cool-assedly says, I bet the newspaper told you there were alligators loose in the sewers of Miami and or New York City, but you can't trust newspapers to accurately report on sewer alligators. Sewer alligators are merely an urban legend.
There are no alligators in the sewers.
In what way?
God, I hope by 2025 we all just get our news from nice, trustworthy memes instead of the newspapers.
They are the unself-conscious reflection of the fears of urban society.
Anyway, that's the end of class for today. Hope everybody remembers to be skeptical of New York Times exposés on the prevalence of sewer alligators, because it will be on the test. Oh, and if anybody's looking for a serial killer, this random middle-aged man wearing gloves has definitely killed somebody. Probably with a hook, hopefully with bees. Obviously, this knowledgeable and cool-ass professor is very popular with the ladies, and it doesn't hurt that nothing revs lady engines more than lectures about prehistoric monsters attacking you while you're on the toilet.
Well, then it must be true.
But the lady he's most popular with is Helen, because she's his wife, and she has to think he's cool, legally.
The dashing professor.
The lovely wife.
Can I make it any more
Legally binding.
Unfortunately, his name is Trevor, which is about the least scholarly name I can think of. Sorry to all you Trevors out there, but I bet you can't name a single thing invented by a Trevor. If we let our professors be named Trevor, what's next? Football players named Wilbert? Virgins named Jordan? Not on my watch. Ain't no virgins named Jordan. Not in this room.
He was bursting adolescent hormones.
Can you imagine Oppenheimer where they like turn and they're like, Trevor, what a great idea for this atomic bomb.
Nice world-ending device, Trevor.
Einstein's like, Trevor, you don't know what you are dealing with. Trevor, stop before it is too late. Einstein, man, I gotta figure out how to split this atom, dog.
This is relatively embarrassing.
Anyway, Helen works on her paper a bit and then realizes that the janitor lady knows about the infamous Candyman that was referenced earlier.
Candyman, huh?
I hate that guy.
Apparently, he lived in the projects. But actually, wait, she has a friend that knows even more about Candyman. And Helen's like, well, I'd love to set up a meeting with your friend. Oh, she's literally in the hallway?
Can I talk to your friend?
Sure. Kitty? Yeah, what do you want?
Right outside this room? Great.
She coming.
The second janitor explains that a woman named Ruthie Jean once heard smashing and stuff, so she called 911, but they ignored her. And by the time anybody found her, she was killed with a hook. So naturally, we all called her Killer Candyman. Honestly, not sure how they got to Candyman, because Ruthie was hooked on Reese's peanut butter cups. Couldn't get enough of that shit.
Let's have Somebody else in the hallway explain.
Yeah, I have a third janitor friend.
I don't know nothing about that.
Helen's like, wow, this has been very informative. So that night she does more research and explains to Bernadette that her condo building was actually originally built to be a housing project in the exact same style as the ones where Candyman maybe or maybe didn't live and laugh and murder. It's just that their location was too fancy. So they added some architectural flourishes, chased away the nearby sewer alligators, and rebranded it as upscale condos.
How much did you pay for this place?
Don't ask.
Everything.
I mean, your husband is a professor of urban legends, and you're a graduate student of urban legends, so I'm gonna assume that you guys are just flush with cash. Which of your BMWs are you gonna drive to the next stage of your investigation? Hey, fun fact, the term flush with cash comes from rich families being able to flush the toilet without fear of sewer alligators biting their butts. I mean, it was in Latin originally, but it's the same idea. It was more about aqueducts. The point is, if the buildings are identical, then the Candyman building may also have this kind of fun quirk where you can push aside the wall behind the medicine cabinet and sneak into other people's apartments.
What? Somebody in there.
Bernadette's like, wow, that's scary. And Helen's like, not as scary as saying Candyman 5 times in the mirror.
Candyman, 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 Candyman.
Candyman.
Hey, you only did 4, no fair.
Oh, you chicken.
Ah, well, I guess we can't both be murdered, right? I'm just joking. Husband attack.
That scared you.
The next day, Helen and Bernadette head to the Ruthie Jean housing project in the Cabrini Green area.
What's with the arsenal, Bernadette?
Helen's like, what are you scared of? Black people? But like, aren't they technically hunting down a potentially still alive and active serial killer? Like, nobody caught the dude, so maybe actually you should be packing way more heat?
Why are you trying to scare me?
Although, then again, here's the thing. Gangsters in the 90s did not look threatening at all. You guys have nothing to worry about from anybody wearing those hats and those jackets. They head upstairs and discover some gorgeous graffiti.
Oh, this is great.
Look, guys, nobody's around. You don't have to pretend like you know anything nor care about graffiti art. They're like, wow, it's so beautiful. I'm like, you don't give a shit. Unless the killer is secretly Banksy, this is like me pretending to admire all the paintings Dave's done of that stupid pepperoni pizza field dream that he's mentioned in like 3 videos now.
That was a good-ass dream.
Eventually, they arrive at the condemned murder apartment, and sure enough, it has its own medicine cabinet murder hole. Helen crawls through there and like, maybe I don't understand thesis papers. But like, why all this effort? What are they trying to prove exactly? If she ends up solving a crime, I mean, that's cool, but her degree's in semiotics, which is about the communication of meaning. I just don't see a lot of academic value in a thesis that says, we tell each other urban legends because they're about real serial killers and they hide behind your medicine cabinets.
An entire community starts attributing the daily horrors of their lives to a mythical figure.
Except he's real so people can see him.
Like, at that point, it's not even an urban legend. That's just a true thing. I don't know. But Helen eventually crawls through a big, crazy painting of a mouth and finds, okay, some candy with extremely poorly hidden razor blades in them. If your kid ate one of those, I'm sorry to say that they had it coming. If your kid can't tell the difference between a Snickers bar and a razor blade the length of my thumb, they're probably choking to death regardless of what they actually ate.
No way.
As they leave, they chat briefly with a resident named Anne Marie, who's pretty skeptical of whites. Maybe she knows Dave.
You know, whites don't never come here except to cause us a problem.
Sorry. But she likes Helen fine because she's nice to Anne Marie's baby. Apparently, Anne Marie knew Ruthie Jean, possibly from their 2 first-name support group, and
They ain't never gonna catch him.
yeah, probably not. Statistically, most murders go unsolved. Anne Marie's clearly taken a few courses in criminology. She's just being realistic. Later at dinner, Helen's feeling very proud of her upcoming thesis.
We're about to bury you.
Although she probably shouldn't, because the slovenly British man that she's hoping to bury wrote a paper 10 years ago that actually detailed the history of Candyman. And it's kind of insane that Helen hasn't come across any of that in all her research. So her paper doesn't cover the history of a specific urban legend, but instead is actually just like, hey, did you know there's an urban legend? Well, I went to the guy's maybe apartment and it was yucky. Doctorate, please.
Then how are you going to bury me?
But if Helen had done any literally non-illegal research, she would have learned that Candyman's backstory begins in 1890, when Candyman's dad, a former slave, got rich off some shoemaking machine. This meant his fancy son didn't need to learn how to do shit, so he became a painter. He eventually got hired to paint a white lady, and then he painted her eggs with his semen.
And she became pregnant.
That makes sense.
Speaking of fancy boys who didn't need to learn how to do shit, can you tell I was an English major with my mastery of metaphors? Anyway, the white egg lady's dad then hired a bunch of dudes to kill Candyman, and they really made sure he got his money's worth by cutting Candyman's hand off and shoving a hook in the stump, and then smearing honey all over him so that he got stung to death by bees, and then finally burning the body and spreading the ashes all over what would eventually be known as the Cabrini Green area. And now I think we can all say it's pretty obvious why he's called Candyman, because of the story I said.
Poor Candyman.
Still smarting over her ass getting obliterated by a slovenly British man, Helen heads back to the projects all by herself and chats it up with a random child named Jake.
I don't know nothing.
Helen's like, that's fine, you pussy.
You scared of him?
Jake then reveals, okay, fine. The Candyman lives in that nasty bathroom over there. I know this because a few years ago, a kid went in there.
He was crazy?
No, a retard.
A frightened retard?
Eventually, yes, Jenny, he got his penis cut off, so I imagine he was pretty frightened. Is that what you wanted to hear?
Can't fix that.
I swear, how are you still popping up in these videos?
Better off dead.
Helen's like, well, that story is horrific, so I'm gonna head into the men's room? What is she, a liberal? Oh, Helen sees the phrase sweets to the sweet written in literal poop on the wall, and is like, I need to investigate this further.
I am the on the wall.
She follows a poop arrow into the toilet to find a bunch of bees, which is exactly what happened the last time Dave and I ate wings. Dave is no longer allowed inside any Buffalo Wild Wings establishments, and I respect their decision. They're like following the poop arrows to a toilet full of bees, and they're like, you can't come back here. But some dude heard there was a liberal in the men's room, so he and his boys run in there.
I hear you looking for Candyman, bitch.
And I know he has a hook, but I sort of doubt that he's the real Candyman. Regardless of whether he is or isn't, though, why would you self-identify using the name associated with a recent murder and also with other murders over the years? Like, I know you want to be tough, but I'd advise against clobbering random women and being like, haha, you were just bested by me, the Chicago Strangler.
We hear you looking for Candyman, bitch.
Shockingly, he's immediately arrested and correctly identified by Helen Swole Eyes here, and even more shockingly, the cops then link him to Ruthie Jean and the mentally disabled boy. Slick move, Candyman.
You're not being very smart.
Jake's pissed about his involvement thanks to being triple dog dared.
Candy milk, give me.
But Helen assures him that the Candyman isn't real. I mean, besides the transvestigating ruffian they just arrested, who seems to have several ties to gang members living in Jake's apartment complex, who could absolutely murder him for helping this white lady and getting him caught by the police. But it seems unlikely he'll be murdered by a mirror ghost or whatever. It's like I tell my kids every night, there's no monster under the bed that will kill you, although Dave will totally do that if he breaks through the locks on the door. Good night.
But now that he's locked up, everything's gonna be okay.
Later, Helen notes the racial disparity in police response, but also isn't too worried about it since it worked in her favor. And now
we're gonna be published.
But again, what is going to be published? You didn't even know the origins of Candyman except for the slovenly British man's already published paper. There's not much of a story here. There was a gangster who killed some people and then got caught after he punched you in the eye. That's like a mildly interesting Atlantic article at best. Except, oh, shit, the real Candyman is in the parking garage and maybe talking in Helen's brain and demanding,
Be my victim.
What? I mean, that's actually super polite for a serial killer. Like, rarely do they ask if you want to be their victim. Dave certainly never does. He's very pushy about it.
Without these things, I am nothing. Bees?
But Candyman's targeting her because she's sort of poked a hole in his urban legendness, and without that, he loses his power. It's sort of like how, without belief in Santa, Santa can't fly his sleigh. Or literally the plot of Freddy vs. Jason.
I am the writing on the wall, the whisper in the classroom.
Just a little more! So Helen wakes up in a bathroom covered in blood, and it turns out she, or maybe Candyman, or maybe both, in a tag team Royal Rumble, hacked the head off Anne-Marie's dog and also stole her baby. Which is not great, but it's probably better than the other way around. You seem skeptical, but I think it is. The cops break in pretty much instantly and arrest Helen, which is great on the one hand, but also sort of surprising considering how much we've talked about how the police aren't quick to respond to calls in the Cabrini Green project area. Honestly, I'd assume most 911 operators would be skeptical of a call about a random rich white lady in the projects hacking off dog heads, although then again, maybe that's like Karen's final form. Helen is processed and then taken home by Dr. Trevor because I guess decapitating dogs and stealing babies is like what, like a $20 bail?
I don't know.
And we learn he's almost certainly banging other students.
I was supposed to go over to the campus and pick up some...
And to be fair, according to Dave, students are like Lay's potato chips. You can't have just one. Also, Dave has sex with Lay's potato chips.
Crunchy.
It's like pleasure and pain. You know that's what Pinhead does.
He's doing it with the salt and vinegar one.
Oh, shit. He's so crazy.
But nobody can just one.
Your suffering will be legendary.
Only be about 20 minutes.
Delicious.
But Helen can't prove it, so while Trevor's at work, Helen inspects her recently developed excursion pictures and sees Candyman in the background, and then, shit, there he is in the flesh.
Your disbelief destroyed the faith of my congregation.
I'm getting too old for this job.
He's also like, trade your life for the baby's life, because the baby's still alive somewhere, and like, okay, now you are getting a little pushy, Candyman. So pushy, in fact, that he murders Bernadette and pins the blame on Helen again. Ugh, should have called him Frame Man. Helen is brought to a mental institution, naturally, but Candyman literally floats his pushy ass over there and wants to kiss her.
Just one exquisite kiss.
Oh, thank you.
So they give Helen extra drugs that knock her out for literally a whole ass month. She meets with a Dr. Burke, first name probably Chaz, given this universe.
We've been stabilizing you on a heavy dosage of Thorazine.
Typical Chaz.
Who shows her the footage of her not wanting to kiss the flying ghost man, but obviously there's nobody there, and Helen's like, wait, that wasn't real?
I don't understand.
The flying ghost man trying to kiss me was only in my mind? Wait, what? How? I don't know what to believe anymore.
Yeah, that would be friggin' sick, though.
It would be. I am always, every time I go to bed, I go like this, just in case a flying ghost man. She decides maybe she just needs to prove that Candyman is real. So she looks in a mirror, says his name 5 times, and then watches as Dr. Burke gets murdered all to shit.
Typical Chaz.
Then he explodes ass backwards out the window. So Helen jumps out too, knocks out a nurse, steals her outfit, much to the pleasure of this random crazy dude just watching this like, I don't know if this woman stripping my nurse naked is a hallucination or what, but I am here for it. I do not want to mess it up. Then Helen runs home, and I'm just gonna say it, her dissertation defense is gonna be crazy. Now I'm on board. This is gonna be a great paper. By the way, you might think this missing baby needs milk or something to live, but actually Candyman feeds it honey sucked off his raw fingers. So the kid's fine. Almost certainly get infant botulism, but that'll toughen him up for a future without a functional FDA. That kid'll be our leader. Helen finds a sexy student painting her condo because she's already been replaced. But Helen acts all scary and weird, and just in general, she completely ruins sexy painting time, which isn't a crime, but it feels like it should be.
Helen.
Then she gets sad, which is debatably even more of a boner killer.
Trevor, you were all I had left.
Whoa! 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 It's moving! What's happening? Ah!
But it's okay. She eventually leaves and runs back to Cabrini Green, which sounds increasingly like an accounting firm every time I say it. She returns to Candyman's apartment, grabs a hook, and tries to murder a napping Candyman with little success, though also little drama.
You came to me.
He gets it. He's not upset by it, but he still would like for her to surrender to him or whatever, so she does, because after all,
The pain, I can assure you, will be exquisite.
Delicious.
all right. For a second, I forgot this was a Clive Barker joint. And okay, yeah, that's a lot of bees. Bzzz. Bzzz. It'd be foolish to claim none went up inside of her butt. Ooh, how exquisite that pain must be. Helen wakes up again, and Candyman's like, okay, now you're the white lady from 1890, and I guess this baby is actually our baby, maybe, and also the baby is currently in this big-ass trash heap outside. There's a lot going on with the baby, is my point. Also, damn it, this better not be a metaphor for America or abortion or something. I hate metaphors that aren't made by me. So Helen runs over there to save the baby, but Jake is like, nah, bitch.
Burn him.
Then Jake and his friends use gas and fire to burn him because, yeah, Candyman's in there too, except then, aw, dang. Helen stabs Candyman and runs for it, and she manages to get the baby out of there, but she herself is burned all to hell.
Come back to me! Babe, please! Babe! Babe! Babe!
Babe, wait, babe, no!
And I'm not sure what the moral of the story is exactly, but Jake is clearly skeptical of all of it. Look at how skeptical his face is. Maybe the moral is make sure that your thesis advisor is sober and tells you no when your thesis idea is simply commit a bunch of crimes and get punched by a killer and then burn myself up in a fire. I love your enthusiasm. I don't see how this relates to academics, because what is the moral of the story? White people shouldn't solve crimes in the projects or something? I mean, there doesn't have to be a moral. I'm not entirely sure what Candyman's deal is, because he mostly kills black people in the projects, but he was murdered by white people. He says a lot of things that make it seem like he has a guiding philosophy of something.
We shall die together in front of their very eyes and give them something to be haunted by.
Great, yeah. Like usually supernatural killers or whatever do things related to how they died or whatever.
Like it would be really cool if he like haunted some old plantation home.
So like that at least would be a more one-to-one. So like, you know, Freddy Krueger got burned in a fire and is a pedophile, and now he's still a burned pedophile. Jason like drowned in a lake, and so he's scared of water and he hates when people have sex, and he kills like counselors and stuff. Like, why does he say be my victim? Wasn't he a victim?
Come with me and be immortal.
But why?
Anyway, cut to Helen's poorly attended funeral until, oh hey look, a ton of people from the projects came, and Jake hucks a freaking hook on her casket. Must be a Catholic thing? I don't know what that's about. But back at the condo, Trevor takes a long, sad shit.
Trevor, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
While his new girlfriend celebrates no longer having to wear bras with shirts.
Boobs should never be trapped.
But then Trevor sadly says Helen's name into the mirror once, twice, oh, 3 times.
Helen.
Oh my God, he's going for 5, isn't he? Hey Helen, wasn't sure if you were coming back or not. Wow, that sucks that in eternity your hair is burned off while Candyman isn't actively covered in bee stings or whatever. Like, yes, he still has the hook, but that doesn't affect his looks all that much. Feels like you got a way worse deal, Helen. The patriarchy's reach extends even to the afterlife, I guess. Roll credits on a big weird painting of Helen on fire, but with her hair. And like, what a cliffhanger. Now I just have to watch the sequel to know whether Helen still has her hair or does not have her hair.
She had more acting talent in one boob.
Actually, that's the whole reason you're here. I was asking for something. Ah, is that candy? These are bees!
What's the difference?
Oh! Freaking bees. Ugh. Gah.
Okay, that's my bad. Let me make it up to you with a delicious bag of Huel Black Edition powder.
What the hell is Huel Black Edition powder?
Oh, it's like a complete high-protein meal that's ready in under 30 seconds, and these bad boys have been designed by dietitians to have 40 grams of protein, 27 essential vitamins and minerals, and best of all, it gives me energy for hours, which is super important because I haunt a lot of blonde ladies.
You drink Huel Black Edition powder to help you haunt blonde ladies?
Oh yeah, I've actually been working out with your wife once a week now to try and stay healthy for all my haunting.
You're haunting my wife?
My favorite flavor is chocolate. Sweets to the sweet, as I always say.
Ha, babe!
Even better, they've got Huel Daily Greens RTD now, which I'm of course obsessed with because I love fizzy drinks. Try it.
Okay, I'm still pretty pissed that you're haunting my wife, but... Ooh, is that blueberry?
Oh, it sure is. And new customers can actually get 15% off their order right now if they use promo code DRBreeding at Huel.com/DRBreeding.
You know I'm not a real doctor, right?
Oh, get back to watching the movies, you liar. You dirty liar.
I'm sorry, it's just a joke.
I try to give sweets to the sweet, and it turns out that the sweet is a liar.
You're a guy that kills people with a hook.
Shut up and finish the movies, liar.
Dickhead. Mother.
Ah! So apparently it's 3 years after the events of the last movie, and the slovenly British man has written a whole ass book on Candyman, presumably expanding his paper to include the story about the insane grad student who killed some people and herself and a dog. Also stole a baby, I guess.
Cabrini residents believe she was the Candyman.
That's appropriation.
His book reading provides an opportunity for us to hear the Candyman backstory again with a couple of bonus facts, like how Candyman was named Daniel Robitaille. And actually, that's the only new fact, but like, what a fact!
Sorrow and hate fill his eyes. Bees buzz about his
butthole.
People in the crowd are like, yeah, that is a cool fact, but...
Do I believe in Candyman?
And the slovenly British guy is like, well, let's test it. And he says Candyman's name 5 times into his reflective book before getting joke hook attacked by his good buddy Peter here. Now, I realize nobody takes the legend seriously, but I feel like this is one of the easiest urban legends to test for yourself. Like, make 100 graduate students say Candyman 5 times into a mirror and then see how many die. If it's less than 50, then, you know, it's probably false. Grad students are desperate. You could probably get them to risk their lives for like some McDonald's coupons. I imagine you wouldn't get a huge amount of grant money for such a study, but there were 2 students apparently about to write a whole damn thesis paper about this before they were murdered. And also, people are writing apparently successful books on the subject. Seems like there's got to be some cool-ass professor somewhere who would want to test it on his Gen Ed Urban Legends 101 class or something. Oh, that's right. The only guy who's ever taught a class like that got murdered on this shitter. Ah, a monumental loss.
No.
But I'm just saying, there's no real way to summon most slasher villains. Like Jason Voorhees and Chucky and Michael Myers just randomly pop up when they get bored of watching basketball or whatever. But Candyman has a very strict set of rules. The timing of when he appears is a little fluky, but everybody who conjures him seems to be dead in a week or less. So it's not like you'll have to run this study over the course of years. And then once all 100 of your freshmen have been butchered, you write a book, you publish a study, and voila! Tenure is yours, baby. Then you could paint 10 apartments with students in shirts but no bras.
There would be like that one guy that the Candyman just totally vibes with, and they like hang out or whatever in the dorm room.
Be my friend?
No.
Slovenly British man wanders around New Orleans during Mardi Gras to see what sort of mischief he can get up to.
I'm sorry.
And he's confronted by this Ethan fellow who's like, you didn't help my dad.
Father wasn't a crackpot.
And the dude's like, I mean, Candyman isn't real, so bye. But Ethan's apparently not finished. Murderer! So he bodies the British guy in a random bar before getting hucked out of it himself. Also, Ethan says Candyman will kill the British guy in the exact same areas as Dave's tattoo of his mom.
Groin to gullet.
It's a weird location to put a tattoo of his mom, but the size shows that he really loves her. Please sign up for my Patreon so my kids can express their love for me with full body tattoos. British dude is then murdered by Candyman after sharing a moment with a young man in the bathroom.
It's my
penis! So I guess you could say he said farewell to his flesh, as it were. Cheerio, what? I don't get the title, to be totally honest.
After hours version of Downton Abbey.
Get the out of here! He'll never pull us off.
Cut from there to the next day, and a woman named Annie drives through New Orleans to the kids' art class she apparently teaches. Oh, whoops, forget that. Her brother, who is Ethan,
It's your brother.
has been arrested for the British guy's murder just because, I don't know what, he chased him all over town, slamming into him and threatening to slice him from bottom balls to top ball? So it's a crime to threaten the British now? Did we lose the Revolutionary War in this universe?
Just tell me what happened last night.
Random thought. If you believe Candyman is real and that he'll kill anybody who says his name 5 times in the mirror, why would you chase around the guy you believe to be Candyman's next victim and harass and attack him in public places? Why not follow him calmly with a big bucket of popcorn and a GoPro so you can replay the glorious moment when he expires?
Dickhead.
Before Annie can see her dumbass brother, she picks up her mother who says lots of swears.
When you reach my age, Annie, you can say whatever the hell you want.
NIGGERFAGGOT.
Mother.
And who has lots of cancer, apparently. So we can assume that in her spare time, she's also building elaborate death traps to teach people the value of life. I'll go into more detail about it in my earlier Saw video. At the police station,
Doesn't make a difference what I do.
At the police station, Annie talks to her brother while some seemingly random dude seems dead set on slopping gumbo all over Annie's mom and then slurping it off.
I hear the gumbo's good and hot. Guess what? You are a G-milk.
Turns out Ethan's already confessed to killing the British guy, and the cops actually think he might be tied to 3 other killings.
I did it. I confessed.
He also might be linked to their dad's death somehow.
You didn't kill Dad, Ethan.
Annie's like, wow, this is crazy. I need to figure out the truth. later. Because first, I'm gonna get all dolled up and go to a bar. There's no rush. Although this is New Orleans during Mardi Gras, so I'm surprised there's not a bar in the police station. It's there that we get our first big plot twist. The dude hitting on her mom is actually Annie's husband? I heard New Orleans during Mardi Gras was wild, but woo-wee!
You got a stud muffin for a husband.
I mean, if he's working multiple generations, I guess he has to be.
At least your mama thinks so.
Leave my mother out of this.
Side note, there's some random insane Fallout-esque radio DJ talking bullshit during most of this movie's transitional scenes.
Are you with me, Crescent City?
I mean, maybe. And are there real radio stations like this? Where a dude just sort of gives his thoughts on how best to do debauchery or whatever? Doesn't seem like it'd be very popular, but maybe that kind of thing was the skibbity toilet of the 90s.
This is Three Dog. Yeah, you're right.
The next day, Annie finally decides it's worth trying to exonerate her brother.
It's a good idea, honey.
Ugh, I hate having to prove my friends and loved ones are innocent of murder. Ugh. She and Stud Muffin head to her childhood home, which is looking rough. I'm actually not sure why it's abandoned though. They only moved out 13 years ago. Did they not sell it to somebody else? I'm actually not really sure what's up with that, but Annie's hoping she'll find some clues. Just something. First rule of investigating murder is never go to the actual scene of the crime. Instead, you go to your old house and you play with your forgotten Pokemon cards or Tamagotchi or whatever. And I'll be like, hey, maybe she'll find a diary where her brother wrote, "Dear Diary, I didn't murder anyone and I wouldn't even want to," every single day of his life.
This explains a lot.
I mean, that would be ironclad. Unfortunately, what she actually finds is the same thing I find whenever I head to Dave's house. That is multiple meth heads and a shrine to Candyman and just like a load of lit candles. And far be it from me to give obvious professionals advice, but they could probably afford more meth if they cut their candle budget, even by half. Subscribe for more facts about saving money for more meth. Even worse, not only are the candles a fire hazard, and meth heads are very flammable in my experience hanging out at Dave's house, but like, who exactly is lighting all these candles? Is that one of the assigned chores of these meth heads? Like somebody has to get up early and light the damn Candyman shrine candles every day?
It's honest work.
Sorry. I didn't mean to get in your way. Damn fool.
Anyway, Stud Muffin hurts his foot and sees a couple of black people admiring his car, so he's like, we gotta get out of here!
Damn it.
Black guys.
Stud takes Annie to work when the kids are fighting because Matthew here made a Candyman drawing.
You started it.
How is that starting it? Started what? God, this is just what it's like to be an artist. People are always trying to punch me because my art is so beautiful and so provocative. It wasn't like a painting of him like blowing the what's the purple guy?
Grimace from McDonald's.
Grimace, yeah. Then you can beat him up. He started it then, he's asking for it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Understood.
Listen, guys. There's no such thing as
Grimace from McDonald's?
liar.
Annie assures the kids that Candyman isn't real by saying his name 5 times in the mirror, and they're all like, oh, okay, sweet. Why is everyone in New Orleans so into this murderer from Chicago anyway? Don't they have any homegrown psychopaths that they can be proud of? I don't know. But Annie heads home to get banged by Stud Muffin.
Are you ready for dessert?
That's what he calls his monster hog.
There are no monsters.
Well, not anymore. Goodbye, Stud. Wish you hadn't dropped dessert all over the floor and also bled all over it.
Oh my god, I am so drunk.
But I guess realistically, that's more Candyman's fault and also Annie's fault. And man, Annie's mom is gonna be devastated. Cops show up and Annie is extremely fortunate it's Mardi Gras. She does the classic, I was attacked by an evil ghost man with a hook and he had bees in his face. And the cops are like, I get what you're saying.
Bees were crawling out of his face.
Bees? It is Mardi Gras.
You were attacked by somebody wearing a mask because it's Mardi Gras.
Beads.
Beads?
You gotta be careful out there.
That's bullshit and you know it.
She heads to her mom's house and Candyman shows up again and is like, how about you and I
Sing the song of misery.
No thanks. But again, very pleasantly surprised how polite Candyman is.
Swallow your horror and let it nourish you.
Sexually.
And boy, this guy sure is a type. You know, he easily could have courted the British man for 90 minutes of runtime, but no. Candyman only chases after sexy short-haired blondes. And again, I respect it. Every time somebody says his name and it's not some sexy blonde, he's just like, this is the worst day ever. I don't get out of bed for this shit. And then he murders them. But not Annie's mom.
Annie!
That was just a dream, I guess. Some kids from Annie's school show up to tell her that Matthew has disappeared, but he started it. He started it.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Sucks though, because he could have grown up to be an expendable grad student. Another fun New Orleans fact, they are deeply anti-hook. They got signs everywhere. It's a very intolerant, backward city when it comes to hook rights. Guns are a-okay, this is still America, but God help you if you hook. I'm just gonna randomly insert a shot of Dave right here for fun. Sorry.
My pants are open, my belly is a mountain of love stuffed with oysters.
Annie heads to Matthew's house to chat with his Reverend Daddy about all the weird shit he keeps painting, and the daddy's like, oh yeah, he painted a lot of other weird shit you don't even know about. It was sort of his thing. Painting shit and starting shit. That's always been Matthew's way. At first we assumed he just wanted to be a manga artist, but then we noticed no tentacles in any of his art, so I guess not.
Can I see them?
Tentacle porn.
All the kids have heard the stories.
Annie visits Ethan again and is like, look, bro, I accidentally summoned the vengeful hook ghost man who killed our dad. And Ethan's like, oh my God, that was the one thing I didn't want you to do.
I blew it, Annie.
Well, since you already know the main problem, you should know that Dad was obsessed with Candyman, who killed Dad, by the way, not me. Twist. And anyway, Dad was looking for a way to destroy him, which eventually led him to talk to a black market guy to see if he had any vengeful hook ghost man killing items.
He won't talk to you. I tried.
Using my sexuality.
So Annie's like, I guess I should go talk to that guy because bonus points, he also runs a snowball stand. Yummy, yummy. Less yummy, some of the customers lick snow juice off his hairy ass arms, but I don't think that's a requirement. Like that's just one of the add-ons that he offers, like sour blast spray or more than one flavor.
Sweets. All the sweets.
He takes Annie to his secret black market room where he keeps the super sour snowball spray and is like, hey, did you know that Candyman was born in New Orleans? Here's a painting of his lover. God only knows why he chose to haunt Chicago for a while, but I guess he's back now? Is Chicago where ghosts go for their rumspringers? Was Candyman just a huge Blackhawks fan? Unclear, but the black market dude with an arm absolutely covered in sticky saliva claims Candyman's soul blasted into his lady lover's mirror, which weirdly is not a euphemism here, so.
Break the mirror, break the curse.
Save the world.
Seems simple enough, except where is that thing? Maybe under here? Oh, shit. Cops that were tailing Annie bust in and are like, oh my God, she totally killed this dude with like a shit ton of bees. It's a classic serial killer move.
Yeah, I mean, I heard her walking earlier and I heard...
I think a jury would convict on that. She escapes, however, but not before Candyman reveals that Stud Muffin raw dogger's so good.
Oh, Paul.
His Christian name was Paul, apparently. But also, yay, she's gonna have a daughter.
You have a life that grows inside you.
Annie processes all of this by running to some random hotel room and getting naked and wet. It's a bit of a stressful night. Sometimes you just gotta. Annie goes back to Reverend Daddy, who for some reason owns old slave records that show Candyman was born at Annie's old house. So she heads to his tomb or whatever to learn, oh, hey,
they had a daughter.
And then Annie sneaks back into her mom's house to confront her and be like, we're all related to him, aren't we? Candyman's daughter was raised just like Dave.
Raised a white girl and no one suspected the truth.
And that was your grandmother. Twist, we're a candy family.
We're his family!
It's the exact same backstory that those talking M&Ms have. It's crazy that they just ripped that off. So the brown M&M seduced the green M&M.
The hot MILF M&M, as we all know.
Maybe he liked the sexy boots.
And then they together, their love tryst. And then, you know, he got like burned and eaten and all that shit. All the white M&Ms got him. And then, you know, 20 years later or 100 years later, whatever, they're all inbred. That's why they're so stupid. The yellow one.
All slave births were registered here.
No, this is an envelope.
Speaking of family, back at the police station, one of the cops confronts Ethan and is like, actually, your sister is the real killer, isn't she?
Why do you keep saying this?
You've been covering for her all along, haven't you?
She's been out here killing people with bees and shit. How common is murder via bee in this universe? I don't know. But to make my point, I'm gonna say Candyman's name 5 times in the mirror. Shit, that was quick. I guess he's the one who said farewell to his flesh. Still not clear on the subtitle. Ethan's like, whoa, this is not my fault. So he books it out of the interrogation room and is immediately gunned down by just a regular ass cop.
Get the fuck out of here!
Unwise.
You tell me do things.
Back with Annie, Candyman kills her mom too. Wow. Worst great-great-grandpa ever. As she dies, she triggers an alarm, which is kind of a dick move. Like, the guy's a ghost. Are you trying to screw over your daughter you keep claiming that you're trying to protect? In my experience, cops are terrible at dealing with ghosts.
My area of expertise is dealing with ghosts.
Who? Your friend the Candyman?
They're gonna think your daughter did it.
Oh, right. Yeah.
What are they gonna do, arrest the ghost?
I said stop! There's nothing there.
But as Annie escapes, she bumps into a cop who saw the footage of the cop getting murdered by definitely not Ethan. And she's like, no, I actually believe that you're being chased by a vengeful ghost.
I watched the videotape of what happened in that room.
Anyway, get out of here, you crazy kid. I have no follow-up questions or offers of help. I hope you kill the ghost. Scooby-Doo that shit. Annie runs back to her childhood house again to look for the mirror, and oh shit, Matthew has been hiding here from the ghost. Seems like a terrible place to hide, like trying to hide from John Wick in a nightclub, but whatever. They both realize, oh, the mirror must be in the slaves' quarters behind the house, which, why do you still have those? Why haven't those been converted to guest bungalows or a swimming pool? How do you explain it to guests? Is that why the house didn't sell? I don't know. But they bust in there and it's not at all up to OSHA standards. Annie sends Matthew to get help while she wades through the rising floodwaters to get to the mirror, which is basically the opposite of the last movie's fire ending, which means that the next movie's gonna have to either end with a mudslide or a hurricane, if we're sticking to the 4 elements. Candyman pops up naturally and is like, twist, my power isn't in people believing in me.
The mirror is the secret of my strength.
I'm not sure why I said that in the last movie to Helen. I was having a bad day, I guess. Anyway, please don't break my mirror because my life has been rough. Flashback to him getting attacked, and oh, okay, the Candyman name came from some kid who was like, you know what? Honey tastes sweet, like candy. And we're rubbing the sweetness on a man. Thus, Candyman. I mean, I guess.
Now, do you see? No.
And I do sympathize with how awful your death was. But also, you just kill a bunch of random innocent people all the time, and then you blame it on other innocent people. And now that I think of it, are you currently trying to hook up with your great-granddaughter or something?
We will go together.
So I still think you should probably die. Like, what did Ruthie, Jean, or really anybody in the past 2 movies do to you, dude? Also, where's Helen? Isn't she a vengeful hook incest ghost too? Did you know that Roger Ebert actually asked all of these questions in his review? It was twice as long as this video, and it was disgustingly sexual.
What was taken from me?
The sexual organs of a stallion and a bull elephant.
And then he died. You think Candyman got Roger Ebert?
I think 100% Candyman got that known freak.
Roger Ebert.
I think that humor works if you make fun of somebody's
No! Annie isn't swayed, so she smashes the mirror, which causes Candyman to become glass and shatter. You know, like a piece of candy. It all makes sense. Annie is then saved by kids because dumbass Matthew ran to get help from other children instead of like the authorities. But also, I guess, who else would believe him? Cut from there to an unbelievably creepy ass kid's room where Annie hangs out with her now like 5-year-old daughter.
That's your mommy, she's pretty.
They seem sweet, but how exactly did the court case go? Like, they now have definitive proof on tape that Candyman exists, right? So maybe they don't even need a court case, but should there not be some kind of like big investigation about what we should do in case more ghosts attack? How many millions of appeals would be filed from convicted inmates who were like, the Candyman ghost actually murdered that guy and ate his legs, not me. You know, that's a possibility now, so the burden of proof is on you, you know? You gotta prove that it's not a ghost. I'm innocent until proven it's not a ghost. I'm just saying the world should be in chaos, but I guess we'll just never know.
That's right.
Annie leaves and her stupid kid tries to say Candyman 5 times into a mobile mirror, but Annie catches her just in time.
Caroline!
I guess she won't be saying farewell to her flesh. Anyway, movie over. Wait, who taught Annie's kid to say Candyman 5 times? She's like, hey, 3-year-old, the one thing I want you to never do is say Candyman 5 times. It's like, you have just guaranteed that the child will say Candyman 5 times. Well, now I can't stop thinking about it. Whatever. Sweet kid.
An idiot.
That little girl
Is an idiot. You're like my painting.
I mean, it's fine.
I'm really into art now.
Oh, well, in that case, it's like so good. Can I go now?
Oh, if you want my next painting to be done with your blood.
No, I don't want that.
I didn't think so.
He must like you because he is really showing his ass.
Oh, hey, it's the Candyman song from Willy Wonka. Will we finally learn what the hell any of this has to do with candy other than one stupid kid making an improv-ass A to C leap from sweet honey to candy? God, I hope so. Oh, ooh, all the production logos are backwards, kind of like you're looking at them in a mirror or from a bad torrenting site, which is what I originally thought. It's a pretty sweet candy-like effect, man.
There's a Bitcoin logo bouncing around.
Yeah, it's like, God damn it.
In Russian subtitle.
Yeah. A kid plays a fun game of shadow puppets, police brutality.
Get on your knees. I didn't do anything.
That is fun.
Fun enough.
Before heading out to do the laundry. You know, Dave draws graphic sex scenes involving public domain characters in a secret notebook before he takes out the garbage. We all deal with getting through our everyday chores in our own ways. Now, the kid acts like this is some sort of lame chore, but we later learned that this is actually his favorite thing ever. Sorry, I'm foreshadowing so much, pun intended.
You're under arrest.
There's just a lot going on here, and a lot of people are gonna be talking about a lot of things, so just buckle up for all the words, because what are films if not books that do the reading for you?
No.
Anyway, this kid is living in Cabrini Green circa 1977, and the cops are on the lookout for some dude. But the kid doesn't know anything about all that, so he heads down to the laundry area and notices a conspicuously massive ass hole in the wall.
What hole? Oh my God!
Fortunately, it's nothing to... Ah, shit. Somebody just hucked candy out the hole. Oh, holy God, there's a man with a hook crawling out of the wall and offering candy directly? Seems a little weird to first huck candy at the kid if you're gonna also hand it to him. It's sort of like if the waiter threw a hunk of complimentary bread at your head before bringing over a basket for the table. But who am I to argue with Olive Garden's reasonably successful business model?
Italian generosity begins with the very first course.
The kid screams because I guess he's never been to Olive Garden, and the cops hear him. But that's all for now, because this web we're weaving is much like how Dave likes his balls. Twisted, if you remember. Opening credits overlay over legitimately awesome shots of upside-down Chicago buildings in the fall. It's now 2019, and this nervous boy can't stop tugging on his bottle.
You're doing that thing with the bottle with your hands.
Sexually.
He must love his bottle. The boy's name is Troy, and he's bringing his new boyfriend to meet Troy's art gallery director sister Bree and her artist boyfriend Anthony.
Yes.
Troy's a realtor, and he hates this neighborhood because, oh, by the way, it's a now gentrified Cabrini Green, and like my underwear, after too much Thai food, it's haunted.
A ghost lives up there.
You guys want to hear a scary story?
I mean, not if it's about the Thai food.
Everywhere is haunted.
But if it's about Cabrini Green, sure. Troy tells the story of Helen from the first movie, but some of the details are embellished or slightly out of order, as one might expect from a realtor explaining a true crime that secretly involved an actual real ghost from 30 years earlier.
It's Kevin.
Okay.
In Troy's retelling, Helen snapped and stole the baby, but she was stopped by a gang of people, so she walked into the fire herself. That's a little harsher on Helen, and I'd say #BelieveWomen, but that's a fair way to assess what happened considering the true story involves an incestual floating meat hook-handed beekeeper with unresolved trauma.
This is extra even for you. If there are articles written about this, look it up.
And that's that. Goodbye, everybody.
Put down those weights, pick up them brushes.
Turns out Anthony hasn't painted anything he likes in the last 2 years, presumably because he doesn't have any braless students helping him, but he ponders,
Cabrini Green.
And with that, we get a horror Googling scene, but before we even meet the monster, in fact, it's not even really about the monster. It's just a dude getting sucked down Wikipedia rabbit holes, which, okay, that's actually a pretty great horror premise. Anthony is gonna come out of this thinking that Candyman is real and that he's a Marxist who invented AIDS to help cover up the moon landing.
That's a metaphor. Damn.
I don't care.
But also, we see offhand, no pun intended, that Cabrini Green, the yucky version, was fully evacuated back in 2010. Anthony snaps out of it and decides to touch some grass for once and do a bit of field research, but is immediately stung by a bee. He then sneaks into an abandoned Cabrini Green project area, quickly bumping into some dude who seems to know things.
But that was a long time ago.
So obviously, Anthony follows the knowledgeable man to a laundromat that the dude at least manages, if not outright owns. And yeah, he's the kid from the cold open.
It's a good story, I guess.
Ugh, I knew his love of laundry would stick with him for his entire life. I sort of feel like a hook man coming out of the walls to offer me candy at a laundromat would sort of turn me off to the idea of laundry or even clothes. But then again, if you're good at something, you gotta find a way to make a living at it. For example, I burp a lot, so I made this channel. Support my Patreon so I can literally use my burps to feed my children. I'm like a bird feeding its nest. People are paying me to burp. I'm using that money to buy food that then I burp into my children's mouths.
Oh, so you are, okay, yeah.
It's not even a metaphor, I'm sorry.
Please, sir. I want some more. Thank you, Father.
The more things change, the more things stay the same.
Anyway, Anthony asked the question on everybody's lips.
What's Candyman?
Laundryman explains that for him, it was a dude named Sherman who did in fact hand out candy and shit. But razor blades started popping up in candy, so when the kid yelled about seeing a hook man, the cops beat him to death right there, right in front of the laundry. Which is actually a good idea because then if you get blood on yourself, you can just wash your pants. But of course, a couple of weeks later, more candy with razor blades showed up, theoretically exonerating the now dead Candyman.
That's when we knew Sherman had been innocent. Harmless.
But also kind of sexy?
No, weird.
Although, to be fair, it doesn't take a genius or a millionaire to figure out how to get razor blades into candy. Dave manages it every Halloween. If Dave died tomorrow and then 2 days later somebody was run over with a car and then eaten, that doesn't mean that Dave's innocent. It could be a copycat or just a hobby that two people arrived at independently. Hey, were you the guy selling chili at the tailgate last weekend?
Damn straight I was.
Well, it was really yummy. I mean, like, what's your secret?
A lot of people feel constrained because there's only 3 ingredients. I take creative liberties as to where I source those 3 ingredients from. Different geographies, different ethnic groups.
What?
Innocent.
Harmless.
It's not like you can copyright crime ideas. This is all very inspiring to Anthony. So he runs home and starts painting from a photo of Sherman's death that's dated 1970? I thought we made it very clear that he died in 1977. I know the 70s were a blur, what with Watergate and the hippies and shit. But 1970 isn't really particularly close to 1977. I did some very brief horror movie Googling IRL to see if I missed something, but I think it's just a very weird mistake that only I've noticed. So you're welcome. This is the kind of you don't get anywhere else. I mean, I guess it could also just be a commentary on how this series' timeline and lore are getting a little unwieldy, but I doubt it. I think it's more likely that I'm a genius.
It's like I know exactly what I'm meant to be doing right now.
But chronological inconsistencies aside, Anthony's really feeling it. He's even put on, like, his painting pinky ring.
Not everyone has that.
I mean, basically, it's just a crude painting of a dude punched and bleeding a lot.
It's a pretty literal approach.
But hey, title it America or something, and some liberal will give you $10 million for it. And if you title it Taxes, you'll get the same offer, but from some, like, rich Texan. Dave will probably buy it, or at least try and steal it. Regardless, there's no stopping Anthony, so he, for fun, says Candyman's name 5 times in the window reflection like an idiot.
Anthony, no.
Candyman.
Stop!
And naturally, Sherman pops up in the window for a hot second, so I'm sure it'll be fine. Although if I were Anthony, I'd put on a blonde wig just in case, you know, for safety. You know, maybe it'll look good. You don't know. Candyman's gonna be like, oh, what? Wait.
What's going on?
I'm into it, I'm not into it. I mean, technically it's a different guy. This is Sherman. Daniel Robitaille's a different guy. We don't know if all Candymen like blonde women.
Hell no.
Cut from there to an art showing, and actually Anthony's main piece is called Say My Name, and it's a medicine cabinet mirror where people are encouraged to say Candyman's name a bunch, but also if you open it, there's 2 weird paintings hanging in there of Sherman and weirdly Helen. Ugh, art.
The idea is to almost calibrate tragedy into a focused lineage that culminates in the now.
Bullshit.
A teen girl seems vaguely interested, but an art critic is not having it because actually
These didactic knee-jerk cliches about the ambient violence of the gentrification cycle.
Bullshit.
the real people causing violence in low-income neighborhoods are the artists who come to gentrify them. In the same way that it's not Dave running around naked in the park mugging people that's the problem, but rather the high prices of meth in today's world. It really makes you think.
Artists descend upon disenfranchised neighborhoods, dividing cheap rent so that they can dick around in their studios without the crushing burden of a day job.
Hey! The point is, art sucks. Get those squiggles and lines and shit out of my face. Troy is also not having it.
Yeah, no. Black people don't need to be summoning.
Anthony does not take this criticism well and gets extremely beer drunk.
You goofy ass.
Whoa, Anthony, did you really just say that?
Yeah, I did, bitch.
Ooh. Please cease your tomfoolery. You are making a spectacle of yourself.
Oh, what the
Let's go, Clive.
Later that night, the art colleague, I don't know, the guy that works with Bree.
It's fine. I can take being called a bitch.
Cleans up after the party alongside the intern that he's teaching to appreciate the fine art sculpture that is his penis.
I'm on the new
I know.
He's all like, man, I hate Anthony. He sucks. He's only here because Bree appreciates his fine art sculpture that is his penis. That's what he said verbatim. Unrelatedly, we should bang. I don't even care if we die.
Necrophilia's always been on my bucket list.
No.
His sexual intern is like, tight. Well, I'm gonna say Candyman's name 5 times. Ah, shit.
So much for that.
Sherman shows up and the colleague is like, oh God, I need to escape. But I first should zip up my pants in case I'm killed. Because I would look very silly if my pants were unzipped and I was dead. But if my pants are zipped, then I can die peacefully.
Let's go faster. Let's go faster.
But he doesn't zip very fast and he's invisi-killed. Elsewhere, he's just cooking. So hard, in fact, he doesn't even notice that bee sting on his hand is getting real gnarly. It's like, dude, you need some cream for that. Bree stumbles upon the candy aftermath the next day and seems pretty upset by it, but
They saved my name.
nothing could put Anthony in a bad mood.
It's cool to be mentioned, I guess.
Hey man, you're not wrong. This is just like how I got mentioned in Fortune. Not really. Except, well, Bree saw her artist dad kill himself in front of her when she was super young, so actually, Anthony, this is probably extremely traumatizing for her. I know you're all excited about your medicine cabinet mirror installations, but I don't think you're fully corrupted yet. Like, maybe just ask her how she's doing. Artist, am I right, Dave? Just kidding. How would you know, you freaking Philistine? You don't know about art.
I mean, obviously.
Anthony's already gone and is checking out Helen's tapes from the library while the librarian seemingly wonders if she could check out that butt.
Well, there it is.
Maybe slather some fine paints on that butt. Ah, shoot, that butt has already left and is getting haunted in the elevator. I hate that for her.
Of course, yeah.
She's like, I want his butt on my mouth. That's what her eyes said. I know librarians.
I'm in the library a lot.
And I wear a lot of different types of pants, and sometimes when I wear those pants, I can see in their eyes.
Oh, Cake Man is here.
So, are you a student?
Anthony paints some more because, oh my God, he's obsessed with painting. And we hear a snippet from Mom Lady from the first movie talking about Ruthie Jean.
Banging and smashing like somebody was trying to make a hole in
the butthole. Now, I watched this movie in theaters when it came out, way before I ever saw any of the other movies. And most of the time, I had no idea what the hell was going on. And not just because I immediately got my hand stuck in the novelty hook-shaped popcorn bucket. Like, now I get it and appreciate it. But they marketed this movie like it was a reboot. And I mean, it does primarily feature a totally different and more accurately named Candyman, but there's a lot of moments like this that pass by with no context, and it felt impossible to know what information was important to the story and what wasn't. Like, was the checking out of Anthony's butt a nod to butt bees from the first movie? I didn't know! And that's without getting too pedantic about how most of the primary characters are like high-ups in the art world, and they use very elevated language to describe both art and gentrification and cyclical violence, and half the time, it feels like I'm watching the Merovingian using philosophy speak to explain why he hacks hot girls' cakes to make them piss so they can have sex with them in the bathroom.
Causality.
Yeah, it is.
It all just sort of flies past you, much like these. And it also doesn't help that nearly every story from the past, if it's depicted at all, involves shadow puppets. They don't really lock in your mind what anybody looks like, which matters because I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit and let you know that at some point, Anthony ends up back in the laundromat and grown-up kid reveals that there isn't just one Candyman, there's a whole hive of Candymen. You know, like bees have. Let's just freaking call him Bee-Man. Bee-Man and the Buzz Boys. And like, I get that the name Candyman makes a whole lot more sense here, but then by doing so, like, how did this guy get connected to bees? Daniel Robitaille has a strong reason to be bee-themed, but what happened to Sherman to give him control of bees and hive imagery? Like, there's this pendulum between candy and bees, and so far no director could find a way to land that in the middle.
Y'all got it all. I'm the Can Bee Man.
He's real.
Surely there's a way to have a sad why don't they just kill the candy store owner with bees? Why make him a painter? Like, if you need the name, it's a good name. Nobody would watch a movie called Hokan Bee Boy. But okay, weirdly, the beehive made of candy or whatever is both implied from Helen's survival in the first movie, but also ignored moving forward until now. And also, Helen, I guess, isn't really considered a candy person in this movie because this dude real quick lists a guy named Samuel Evans from the 50s and William Bell from the 20s and of course Daniel Robitaille from the 1890s. But there's no mention of how, oh yeah, Helen also became a candy person.
It's a story Helen found.
She's pissed off that she's not a part of it.
Doesn't count.
Great. Even murder ghosts have to deal with the glass ceiling. Hashtag support Lady Murder Ghost or something. To be fair, her inclusion wouldn't really help the story that they're trying to tell about the purpose of Candymen's or Candyman, which we'll get to later. But man, it's just a whole hell of a lot to try to ingest if this is your first exposure to the Candyman movies. But when I saw it originally, I had no idea what the shit anybody was talking about half the time. Just like when I watched Jeopardy.
Pain like that lasts forever.
Okay, fine, like when I watch Wheel of Fortune.
Get some rest, young blood. You'll feel better in the morning.
Right in the butt?
Anyway, for now, Bree tells Anthony he needs to be at a dinner that night with some fancy art person like Leonardo da Vinci. And Anthony's like, soft maybe. I need to go meet with that stuffy art critic alone in her home for an interview. Sounds a lot like she's gonna try and go full librarian on that butt, but as far as I can tell, it's genuine interest in his work.
Pretty interesting, considering what happened.
Like suddenly, she thinks Anthony's art is really cool now that people have been murdered in front of it.
All of a sudden, your work seems...
Kind of sexy?
No. Eternal.
And it's crazy because Dave has been murdering people who watch my videos for years, and not a single art critic has changed their mind on how amazing the videos are. They still staunchly believe every single one is absolutely perfect, and it is exhausting. Ugh, I'm never gonna grow if you just tell me how amazing they are.
You keep challenging people, you keep pushing the bar.
We got your food fetish, we got your foot fetish, we got your dwarf fetish. What do you need? We got it.
Spread the word.
Oh, I love that idea.
But Anthony's like, yeah, tight. I'm thinking of doing a whole Candyman themed solo show. And also, you're wrong about gentrification. It's not my fault as an artist. It's the city's fault for how they build things.
Who do you think makes the hood?
Wow, look at the big shot who's played Sim City. And the critic's like, I gotta piss, which is a great answer to anyone going on unprompted political rants. Anthony's like, ooh, you should take this opportunity to summon Candyman. You know, while you're pissing.
Say his name.
She's non-committal, but while she's in there changing her oil, Anthony realizes his reflection is just straight up Sherman, which is unsettling. So he abruptly leaves, and oh, okay, I guess the critic summoned that bee-man of candy even as she expelled the piss, because yeah, she's invisi-killed. The good news is that Anthony still makes it to the dinner, and all the fancy art people are like, Bree, you should come out to New York and be fancy and arty like us.
So provincial yet exciting.
But then everybody gets an alert on their phones that the critic is murdered, and Anthony's like, I gotta go paint some horrifying, insane shit.
I have to go.
Anthony.
I'm an innocent man! They're like, well, it's good to know that at least he didn't do it.
Don't look at those!
What the f is this?
Artists. Bree comes home later and is like, okay, this is crazy. I'm gonna summon Candyman just to prove that he's not real. But Anthony doesn't love that idea.
Candyman ain't real, nigga.
An excellent point, Troy. Have you considered that point, Anthony? I guess not. Elsewhere, 5 teen girls try to summon Candyman in the bathroom because one of them was at the art show, which is why I refuse to let my children learn about art. Like as a concept. Instead of paint on our walls, we just wrote the word green like 700 times. Oh, wait, now it's just 4 girls. But pretty soon it's 0 girls because they die. Except, oh, wait, actually it's 1 girl because some unrelated girl just had the most terrifying shit of her life. That'll teach those punk-ass teenagers to visit a museum. Anthony gets his spreading bee infection checked out at a Cabrini Green hospital, and the doctor's like,
welcome back, Mr. McCoy.
What?
You were born here, you dumb piece of shit. Which incidentally is how my parents greet me whenever I come to visit. Every time I come home, my parents are like, you were born here, you dumb piece of shit. I'm like, Not literally. Born in San Bernardino, Mom.
Regardless, it is good that you came in when you did.
I miss you and I love you.
And he's like, oh my God. And he runs to his mom to be like, hey, why did you lie and say that I wasn't born in Cabrini Green? And she's like, well, it's because you were the baby that Helen stole. And I'm the same actress as the mom from the first movie. That's fun.
Don't say that.
You never know if a random side character in a 90s horror movie will actually manage to eke out a career, but by God, she's done it. This does not console Anthony, however.
Wait.
Bye, Mom. Bree realizes that the fancy New York people do actually seem to mostly care about her connection to Anthony and his art's ever-increasing in size and artiness body count.
How long have you with Anthony McCoy?
So she goes to the laundromat to be like, hey, what's going on in here? And also, I brought my whites because I might as well be efficient. I guess Anthony told her there were things to be learned at the laundromat, but I don't exactly remember that because, my God, they talked about a lot of things.
For so long, abstraction has been about indexing a sublimated emotional state.
Wait, what? But anyway, the dude's not there, and she considers going to look for him in a creepy-ass basement. Nope. Smart, although also, whoops, she's abducted anyway. Fun historical anecdote. The Candy Kid back in 1977 also saw his sister and her friend murdered by the Candyman, and he saw murdered by the cops.
You're a big baby. I'm not a baby.
Seems like he adjusted pretty well considering all the horrible he's seen.
Yeah, I guess I'm on some other now, huh?
Never mind. Bree comes to, tied up, in a creepy abandoned church. Turns out she was grabbed by the adult Candy Kid who hacks off Anthony's hand, shoves a meat hook in there, and Anthony just kind of lets it happen, I guess, because of the art, you know? Also, his bee disease is extremely advanced by this point. My man is looking rough.
Well,
he really needs to get to a doctor or like a beekeeper or like a bee doctor or a confectioner or a chocolatier. I don't even know what he needs now. What is he now? Is his problem medical? Bee related? Candy-esque? Is it racism? Gentrification? I don't know.
I mean, a diet of candy and bee stings is just, it's not healthy.
It's not good.
Are you ready for the sacrament?
The adult kid says a bunch of stuff about the Candyman's purpose as sort of a scapegoat to help deal with the ever-present violence of this place. Like, it's easier to believe there's a serial killer candy ghost bee man running around that they could avoid by just not saying his name a bunch in a mirror, rather than just that they're actually screwed because violence is inherent to where they live. That's right. The real monster is man, but it's also the serial killer candy ghost bee man who's verifiably real?
Candyman will live forever.
Well, figured.
Literally! It's like, school shooter didn't kill everyone, the Flying Dutchman did. And then it turns out the Flying Dutchman is totally real.
Is real and shot cannons at children.
Guess we've got to come up with a new legend that doesn't keep coming true.
Let's start believing in ghost stories.
See, you can really make the story your own.
So, something gentrification? Although, wouldn't gentrification bring the crime rate down, in theory? Sorry, this movie is a bit complex for the way I usually approach these scripts. Penis, butt, fart! Hey! Where you going? Look, it's not a bad movie exactly, but it is a lot of movie. Or, it's actually not that much movie, it's a lot of ideas. And they're big ideas. Bree escapes briefly and then murders Candy Boy Longley.
2 hours later.
I think he's dead.
Bree has a momentary change of heart where she's like, aw, maybe Anthony's not super insane? Maybe I can nurse him back to health? Oh, shit. The cops don't agree, and they effectively murder the sick, prone dude, and they arrest Bree, and one of the cops is like, so, do you remember how what we did 5 seconds ago was totally justified, and if you don't think it was justified, then we'll say you were an accomplice and you'll go to jail forever, and Bree's like,
can I see myself?
What?
In the mirror.
Okay, weirdo. But of course she summons Anthony Man, who massacres all the cops except for the final cop, who coincidentally is murdered by Daniel Robitaille, apparently returned from his New Orleans vacation.
Tell everyone.
Tell everyone what? I'm not clear how the trick went. Obviously you didn't die, but I can't imagine becoming glass and exploding was comfortable. Did you get to eat any beignets? Murder any gorgeous co-eds off screen? Like, spill that candy tea, Bee King. He's like, tell everyone. It's like, tell everyone what? That a bee candy man killed all these cops? Like, what? You want her to go in and say that's what happened? Come into the police station, still handcuffed, covered in blood. Okay, this is gonna sound a little crazy, but bear with me. Okay, there's this guy, he likes candies, Also bees, more bees. And it's not just one, there's actually like 6 of them. Anyway, they killed all the cops. I didn't do it. They were actually crooked cops.
I didn't kill, I just summoned.
Anyway, can you take these off? I'm gonna go home.
This is gonna be a lot of paperwork.
Yes, I was just about to clock out. Cut to credits, although during all of these credits, the entire time we get shadow puppet plays, I guess, about all the other Candymen. One is murdered while buying seed. One is a kid given the electric chair unfairly. I assume it's unfair. I'm not sure what he's accused of, but I tend to be anti-giving children the electric chair, just like as a rule. This is one of many things that Dave and I disagree about. And then one other Candyman moves into a house but is dragged behind a car, and those are based on 3 real murdered black men, by the way. Anthony Crawford, George Steiny, James Byrd Jr. So I think that brings us to 6 Candyman, including Samuel and Anthony and Daniel. But again, Helen is not among them. Problematic and unscientific because most bees are female. But I guess these movies don't care about facts. I'm just gonna say the bee queen is not a guy named Daniel. That would be ridiculous.
You know anything about that?
Okay, all right. Candyman. Okay, that's both gross and a little offensive. Are you only doing that because this next movie is kind of like Hispanic themed?
Dulces for the dulce.
Ooh, Chihuahua!
Eyeball close-up. Hot lady in bed. A door opens to a white-ass bathroom with blood on the wall and a dude with a bloody meat hook. Wait, are we in an Arby's bathroom again?
We have the meat.
Do they just let any horror movie film in there? Or maybe they just don't ask questions of people heading into their bathrooms with cameras and meat hooks. Cut from the meats to a bloody meat hook spinning for like 12 hours of credits until we realize today is of the dead, as it were. Welcome to Candyman 3. Last in the timeline, last in critical reception, and last in profits. Who's pumped to end on a low point? Huh?
No, don't do this.
Another eyeball close-up, another hot lady shot, and my goodness, movie, you are spoiling us.
A gift from me to you.
Some voiceover lady voice explains that Daniel was her great-great-grandfather, implying that, yeah, she's Annie's daughter, Caroline, from the second movie, which actually means that this movie is set a staggering 25 years after that movie, which puts this in the year 2020, which A, means, yeah, it's technically set after the events of the most recently created film, because that was set in 2019, and also B, whoa, did Candyman cause COVID? Did he kill Ruth Bader Ginsburg? These are important questions that Caroline's stupid roommate who's having all this explained to her doesn't even bother to ask.
No shit. Okay.
All she can do is say, nah, and try to say Candyman into the mirror, but she can only get 4 out before Caroline B blocks her.
You're right.
Turns out we're in distant future Los Angeles. And the main difference is there's a whole bunch of Mexican stuff everywhere.
So, now all restaurants are Taco Bell.
No hablo español.
A mí también, amiga. Hey, Dave, have you ever wanted to lick death?
Personally, I like to take a bite out of death.
Right in the butt?
This guy gets it. They're about to do a showing of Daniel's paintings at the art gallery where Caroline works, but she's pissed because they're marketing the evil ghost angle instead of the lynch mob victim angle.
It's just an angle, baby.
Look, evil ghosts are very marketable. Haven't you seen the Candyman movies?
Well, then it must be true.
Caroline's like, well, I own the painting, so you better make this very respectful.
Relax. I'll honor the dead.
Well, I'm sure you will, Miguel. Some racist cops show up that night to just sort of stand around being racist because just like the cameras I installed in the Providence restaurant toilets, we're looking at
LA's finest assholes.
So that's what this giant screen over here.
The like live streaming of the toilet. Yeah, that's in Los Angeles.
It's very hard to say focus over here because.
Flashback to Candyman getting some of that forbidden puss. And okay, I think I see your problem, dude. You kept painting this chick naked? You can't be painting that ass, man. Cameras haven't even been invented yet, and yet you still found a way to implicate yourself with a 19th century sex tape. The dad's like, great, well, let's see this painting that I commissioned of my daughter's fine ass. Oh, Jesus Christ, somebody grab some bees. More like ass man, am I right? My man died for that ass.
And what a sweet ass.
Sweet to the sweet.
True dedication, the patron saint of ass. You couldn't try even a little bit to hide your affair? This is 1890, dog.
I painted you a dick pic.
Yeah, it's just like another cock Painting in the mail? It's for me. I'm sure it is. It's like, I would love for you to paint my daughter. He's like, oh yeah. It's like, why'd you say it like that? He's like, no reason. I'm sorry. The vibe you're giving is very weird.
Why do you keep high-fiving everybody?
Do any of you dare call his name? Ass man.
Anyway, Miguel's explaining all this backside story to the guests, and he's really feeling it.
They said the hate that had killed the young artist had created something evil. Ass man.
Eventually, he's like, to sum up, Caroline, I triple dog dare you to prove Candyman isn't real by saying his name 5 times in the mirror. And she's like, literally? I would never do that.
Candyman.
Okay, fine, I'll do it. What a character arc.
Do not tempt the powers of darkness.
And then, oh shit, she's attacked by a guy with a hook, but it's just like a regular guy. He's not the guy.
Get him out of here.
Turns out that dude was technically, just like everybody in this movie, an actor. Only he was like double that. An actor among actors. Actor Inception. Actors squared.
I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
I'm sorry if I scared you. I got carried away with the part.
Although also, unlike everyone else in this movie, he's
a very well-paid actor.
Anyway, Miguel's gonna go bang this lady now. Can you lock up Caroline? Miguel seems like a terrible boss.
I know.
I'm gonna pressure you into showcasing your art collection in a way that you hate, then pressure you into summoning an evil, vengeful, great-great-grandpa ghost, terrify you with a fake assassination attempt, and then finally force you to imagine me slinging my hog all over Los Angeles' finest butthole over here.
Lena, something. She's a model.
I bet he's not even contributing to her 401k. Is it 401k? Every time we do one of these movies and I make a 401k joke, I don't know if that's the real thing, because I don't have one.
I'm sorry.
Caroline angrily huffs towards a nasty-ass subway tunnel full of bees, and an evil, vengeful, great-great-grandpa ghost should have gotten an Uber. After all, this is Los Angeles in 2020. Crazy how we've all forgotten our smartphones and Los Angeles Rams and or Chargers jerseys. She passed out. Caroline wakes up the next morning and for no clear reason goes to check on her boss? Like, to what end? In whose end? She's trying to see if that hog is as disturbing as she imagined it to be? Or maybe that butthole is as fine as she imagined? Caroline, you dog! Well, it's Saturday morning, better go to my boss's house.
Yeah, that's the one day you don't go to your boss's house, right?
Especially when you know that he's slinging hog. Dave, stop coming to my house when you know I've been slinging hog.
The hog slinging sign is on.
Except as she explores, we cut back to the aftermath of Miguel and his lady friend get murdered and beat by Candyman. Even though, I mean, Caroline wasn't around and they didn't say anything into the mirror, so I feel like that's cheating. If you can't trust murder ghosts to play fair in today's topsy-turvy world, then who can you trust? Caroline calls the cops and 2 of them want to chat, but she says no.
Maybe we can get a cup of coffee.
I don't want any coffee.
So then the 2 racist cops want to chat. She's like, okay, fine. I trust these guys. Not looking good, Caroline. First, there's the fact that you're in your murdered boss's house for no reason. And secondly, why do you only want to talk to the racist white male cops? Anyway, CSI, the Candyman scene investigators, inform her that her paintings have been stolen.
We think the robbery and the murders are connected.
You think they broke in, stole the art, and we're like, we should just kill the guy who runs this place at his house. I just mean you have to go to a second location. It's not like he was in the building. It's like if you rob a bank and then you like drive to the CEO of Wells Fargo's house, shoot him in the head, and it's like, okay, well, that seems unnecessary. And then they drop her off at home where she hears her roommate getting murdered. Oh, just kidding. She was just acting. God, everybody's acting. LA, am I right? And nobody's even good at it.
Water, water, everywhere, but not a drop to drink.
It's a horror movie.
Actually, that's fair. Oh, wet crying in the shower, which is just wet on wet, but also no drinking. Caroline has a quick dream of her mom, again, Annie, I guess, in the bath shaving her throat. Apparently, Annie wanted Caroline to destroy the myth.
Great.
Yeah. But also, hey Annie, what the hell did you call Candyman for? You know what happens if you do that, right? Were you just testing to see if the glass shattering thing was effective? To be fair, this movie seems to be returning to the whole I get all my power from being a really cool ass myth thing from the first movie, so great. Now the lore of a long running franchise is all muddled? I did not expect this. I did not expect it to be so muddled.
This is a surprise.
Caroline, I want you to stop this.
Again, Saw is the only franchise where they're like, no, we are slavishly devoted to this story, no matter freaking what. Which, to be fair, I guess he's just a normal guy. It's not like, you don't have to like summon Jigsaw, right? Yeah. I don't know. The actor playing an actor in a Candyman movie who was acting like a Candyman shows up.
I know who I am. An actor, not a killer.
And is all like,
what the hell did you tell the cops?
And Caroline's like, the truth, which apparently made them go,
good cop, bad cop on my ass all afternoon. Turn my inside out.
Fun. Oh, you mean literally?
Wait, I'm confused. Is he thanking her?
I wouldn't kill anybody.
Oh, no. I guess he believes the racist cops will pin any crimes on him, whether he did them or not. But he, David, has it on good authority that actually a gang stole the paintings, not him. He's heard from a very reliable source that he didn't steal the paintings. And Caroline's like, great.
We have to find that gang.
And ask them for the paintings back. And if they say no, I don't know, I guess we kill all of them. And if they say yes, I guess they'll kill all of us. And also, let's ask them if they killed my boss and his lover. Let's take your moped. They sputter away to single-handedly take on a Los Angeles gang, but little do they know that one of the racist cops has caught feelings for at least one of them. I mean, I'd assume it's Caroline, but I think it's possible it could be David and his, inside-out ass. Keep watching to find out. It's like a rom-com.
What's wrong, Sam? She didn't like the roses?
You go to hell.
They end up in a bar and ask a dude about this fancy art gang, which, hey, how would a gang offload fine art? It's not like most drug or gun dealers accept an impressionist examination of pain in the late 20th century as payment. Feels like a fairly difficult product to offload. Maybe we'll find out in I Explain All 2, the Thomas Crown affairs.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, yes.
I think she likes you.
Whatever. Caroline goes to the bathroom to calm down and rub some blood on her face. Ah, shit. Candyman's in there along with dead naked Annie. And let me say, somebody on this film's production thought it'd be sick to use a thunderclap sound every time there's a flashback or something. And boy, do they get the most out of that $5 Shutterstock purchase. They gotta stretch that budget after they blew it all on David.
You okay?
Speaking of, Caroline's fine. So they now go speak to David's daughter and grandmother.
She's a healer.
I mean, sure, but did they not learn anything about the gang? Like, isn't that what they're currently trying to do? Did they end up killing the whole gang? Also, is she a healer? Do most healers puff fat cigars and rub eggs all over you? Is this like a World of Warcraft thing? My healer never does anything awesome. And my wife's healer completely missed appendix cancer despite there being presumably lots of unexplained fluid on the ultrasound that they gave her. Oh well, as they say, when it's cancer, there's no rush. Also, rub some eggs on it.
Without one, the other cannot exist.
I'm a terrible doctor.
Okay, there's our first hint. It's 2020. A 911 sticker on a rotary phone. In case you forget how to call 911 from your rotary phone. The future is here. I guess Caroline's healed now, or she just had a really nice omelet. Either way, so they leave and...
What are you doing, Vato?
Well, that was mean and racist, but also maybe his way of flirting. I'm still not sure who he's here after sexually. David and Caroline head back to her apartment to take shots and lick each other's hands and crotches.
These are a few of my favorite things.
Ooh, Chihuahua.
Except then Candyman tries to get in on it and Caroline wakes up with a start. And David's gone and a roommate gets murdered by Candyman, who says what I say every time a video slightly underperformed.
There is no reason to live.
Look at you, the Hobbit.
I hate the...
People just didn't get my art. The cops show up to arrest and slap Caroline, except whoops! Candyman kills the cop who was supposed to drive her down to the station, and Candyman's like, look, they're never gonna believe that you didn't escape your handcuffs, sneak up to the front seat, find a meat hook, gut this dude, get no blood on yourself, sneak back into the back seat, and then recuff yourself.
They won't believe you.
They will not believe that you didn't do that because you clearly appear to have done that.
Somehow this chick gets out of the cuffs and rips a guy twice her size to shreds. Gives a whole new meaning to PMS.
These are bad cops, I think. They can't even keep the city's countless art gangs in check. Candyman's like, they're gonna think you did this. I'm like, of all the murders that have happened in this series, that's actually the one that I think the cops would not think you did. Where is the meat hook, for example?
Okay, Sherlock.
Anyway, Caroline's like, crap, I better escape then. But she's forced to climb over the gutted cop who cops one last feel of her neck. She also grabs his cop coat, which I say is the best disguise ever in this Los Angeles neighborhood that apparently has a bunch of art gangs. But actually, it's fine, because as she explains to anybody who looks at her sideways, I'm not immigration! But like, of course you're not immigration. You're wearing a uniform. Candyman gives Caroline a vision that she can trade her life for David suspended on meat hooks, but she first rushes to his grandma to, I don't know, drink some stuff, maybe score some free eggs, get a little advice.
What are you doing down there?
And Abuela's theory is that evil cannot exist without good. So you gotta kill his good. Seems complicated. Have we just tried destroying only the evil? Any thoughts on that?
Without the good, the evil will die.
But before Caroline can puzzle that one out, there's a phone call from the bar guy who's like, oh, a gang guy is here, and he wants to chat. But then also the cops show up, and Caroline's like, what's my best physical feature?
I know, the back door.
Debatable, but that is a great way to escape. As Caroline runs through the crowd, she bumps into Candyman, who kills her mom again. And like, if you're trying to convince her, dude, I think you're going about it the wrong way.
Give yourself to me.
He keeps being like, it'll be great. We'll be immortal. Everybody will think your death was so cool. And maybe I'll keep bringing you back to life and slitting your throat over and over. I'm not saying you should seduce your descendant, though Dave has been saying it since the video started, but like, make it sound good in some way, you know? Like, tell her about the pros of giving herself to you. As they say, you catch more bees with honey than throat stuff.
It's okay, honey.
But he doesn't, and Caroline's still not quite convinced. Oh, also the racist cop grabs a sexy blonde Mexican man, which does us no favors in determining his type. Even worse, one of the non-racist cops knocks him out before he, just starts kissing somebody. I think he's knocked out because he was doing a police brutality, and he's fired after this, but it's not immediately clear what for. I mean, it's not nice to put guns to people's heads while interrogating them, but is that an immediately fireable and punchable offense? I literally don't know. That's the edge I bring to my YouTube videos. A lot of channels do research or are hosted by experts in something, but not this one. I just say stuff. I'm making that joke because if you've gotten this far into the video, you already know that. Most comments to the other, they come like 5 minutes into the video and they're like, I hate this and I hate you and I want to kill your whole family. And I'm like, that seems excessive just because this video is a little wacky. But man, people get really pissed about these videos. They're like, how dare you edit so quickly? How dare you say so many jokes? It's always called like, I'm trying not to poop my pants in the future. And they're like, I did not expect this to be silly.
Just click the back button on the top left of the screen.
It's just so funny that people are like so upset like I tricked them. I'm like, the picture's dumb, the title is dumb. Also, who cares? I'm trying to keep you from watching this. I'm like intentionally have bad thumbnails and bad titles so that you'll leave me alone. But they come in and they're like, how dare you do this to me? It's like they grab a gun out of my hands, shoot themselves in the foot and be like, you did this, stop. I mean, sometimes they'll be like, I hated this joke at the 2-hour mark. And I'm like,
I want these people to imagine being in my shoes, where I'm forced to be subjected to this.
Well, I am paying you, so.
I appreciate your patronage.
Yeah, I'm not paying you for this one now, but.
Got me there, out-lawyered me on that one.
Out of here now. Caroline makes it to the bar and the gang member is like, you can have the paintings back.
I can take them the away.
Weird it's been happening since we stole them. I've been feeling lots of strong emotions and having deep thoughts, for example. Anyway, come with me to our fun gang hideout. I promise it's safe. We call ourselves a gang, but we mostly just steal paintings and play Magic the Gathering.
Got you. Fooled you, didn't I?
Oh, dang it. I knew it was too good to be true. Turns out these weirdos basically worship Candyman.
We are his new congregation.
So this woman says his name in the mirror and they're immediately all murdered, which is like classic church.
Poetry.
Caroline passes out, wakes up, sees everybody's dead, and dang it. The paintings are gone too. And she's like, wow, you took everything from me, which isn't untrue, but technically those are his paintings, right? Don't be selfish, Caroline. He took your mom. That's unfortunate. And a few of your friends. But the paintings, that's his.
You took them!
She can't be convinced, however, so she grabs a hook and runs to a warehouse where everybody throughout the movie has been like, oh yeah, the Candyman lives in there, probably. Used to be an Arby's.
Arby's.
People in the neighborhood, they believe it's a place of evil.
And yeah, it's full of bees and candles and...
David!
I guess everybody was right because Candyman is also there and he makes his offer again.
Your life for his.
And then watches patiently as Caroline struggles to climb this little mound for a couple of minutes. You gotta get your direct-to-DVD movies to 90 minutes somehow. Then he's like, I'm just very excited for you to die because
the last of my descendants will finally be with me.
And then he kisses her, his descendant. Dave cannot stop smiling and laughing and crying. He's so excited. This is like his moon landing. You can't see it, but he is fully nude. But I'd really warn against doing like that, or else, yep, he caught bee mouth. That's what happens when you won't stop kissing your direct descendants. Dave's family calls it catching hurt bees. They're still good with puns, but they are all ravaged by venereal diseases.
Hep B is another good one.
Ooh, nice one.
Caroline tries again to climb the mound and this time succeeds and slashes the shit out of a painting, and I guess that's the good part of Candyman. God, I hope that when I die, people aren't like, well, he was evil, but he had a good side, which was these stupid ass videos he made. Explains why he wasn't much evil. He didn't have a lot of good with which to balance the scales. So naturally, all the incest and stuff causes Candyman to explode.
Incest is fucked up!
But then, oh my God, the racist cop shows up and tries to kill Caroline with the hook. But whoops, he's shot by the non-racist cop. And Caroline's like, ooh.
Kraft was the Candyman.
I should pin all the Candyman stuff on the racist cop, because that would destroy the myth, probably. And that's why a lot of people now think that cops are bad. It's all Caroline's fault. Before her, everybody loved cops. And after a full year investigation, the police agree with her. Even though, how much are we pinning on this one LA cop? Candyman was also accused of killing people in Chicago and New Orleans, right? Like, his myth is way bigger than what happened for about one random week in the year 2020 in LA.
There's no such thing as the Candyman.
Oh. Okay, I guess he's dead. Let's have a picnic at Mom's grave, I guess. Why not? Just watch out for bees. Okay, I finished. Can you get out of my mirror now so I can brush my teeth without having to look at you?
Why brush your teeth when you haven't had any candy?
Ah, it's still not candy!
Honestly, it's still very confusing to me.
Do you want to get the first line in your regular voice? Do you like candy?
Do you like candy?